Mavs get back in the win column thanks to a big night from Luka. Another 25-10 game that we'll put into perspective, and why Zion's offense may not have been the most impressive part of his game. Talk about a close shave. Very latest on the Chiefs' COVID scare. Their biggest roster move could have been off the field and in the barber's chair. And Father Time's undefeated unless he goes against Tom Brady. How TB12 has defied age, battling the test of time unlike any before him.
Listen, we're not the prettiest bunch.
I don't have a hobby. I just play basketball, so I decided to take some pictures after the game.
All right. I mean, it's good to be versatile.
Right.
We're properly caffeinated on this Thursday morning.
Or at least one of us is.
Nicole Briscoe, Rainey Scott with you. It is SportsCenter AM. So Giannis dabbles in a side hustle.
Got it.
But we start with two guys just forever linked by a draft night trade.
It was the one that made Trae Young a Hawk and then Luka a Mav, traded for each other and now playing against each other. This is the first time we've actually seen it, though, since December of 2018, back when we were so young. So innocent. Luka, the steal, and then watch the defenders just collapse on him. This is in the first quarter, so what's he going to do? Josh Richardson, here you go. Nice little pass from Luka. Mavs up 7 early, second quarter. Tied at 39. 39 for you, 39 for you. Watch Trae. Only made 3 of those. A rough shooting night. More on that in a second. 5 seconds left in the half. Mavs down 6. Luka steps back. He's only 3 of the night. He went for 17, though, in the first half. He finished with 27. Young, as in Trae, 6 points in half, 5 assists. He only shot 44% for the game. Fourth quarter, Mavs up 10. Luka. Watch the dish to Porzingis, who then dunks all over Clint Capella. 24 points and 11 rebounds for Kristaps Porzingis. Mavs up 12, but here come the Hawks. John Collins, game-high 35 points. Hawks within 10, now within 6, courtesy of this. Young, jumper, near the free throw line. It's a 6-point game. Minute to go. Luka moving the ball up the floor. Tim Hardaway Jr. bobbles the pass, and the Hawks take over, and it's Young draining the 3. Pulling within 3 with less than a minute to play. Young had 21 points and 9 assists, but this one is going to go to Dallas, and they needed it. Doncic to Porzingis. 122-116. It's going to snap a season-high 6-game skid for Dallas. And that's a good thing on the back of Luka. Head-to-head, Luka is winning this matchup, though. 2 wins in 3 games against Trae Young. In this one, though, Luka got his 36th career game with at least 25 points and 10 assists. That's the 6th most by a player in his first 3 NBA seasons.
All right, Zion Williamson falls into that time category. Not much of an assist guy, at least by those numbers. He still had a huge night with the Suns in town. Zion and the Pels. Here he goes. Just the body control is nuts, especially with that body. Big, strong man getting to the rim, controlling the lean, absorbing the contact. He had 15 points in the first quarter. That's a career high. And then showing off some ball handling here. I mean, Brandon Ingram said it. He goes, that's definitely a confidence boost for him. And I don't think he needs much confidence. What was say about Nicole sometimes? Zion inside.
We can cut his mic.
You don't need him to go as well. You're noticing a theme where all of these buckets are made. 19 points in the first half for Zion. He had 20 or more paint points in this game for the 8th time this season, but he can step out and knock down a 3. He said, it feels like I'm improving as the season goes on. The game's getting slower and slower for me. And then here, Zion going to spin off his man, throwing down the business end of the alley-oop there. Williamson in the 4th. Off a transition, we're turning defense to offense. Eric Bledsoe, love it. One hand thrown out. We are going to see that again later in the show. Maybe in half-hour headlines, maybe in top plays, I don't know. 28 points for Zion. Pels win 123-101. Stan Van Gundy said it was our most complete game of the season, and it's thanks in no small part to a complete performance from Zion Williamson, because it's easy to get lost in the offensive numbers, right? 28 points, 85% shooting for the 2nd time this season. But the defense was quite strong. The Suns missed on 9 of their 13 attempts with Zion as the primary defender. There's no defense for this man. None for Joel Embiid. Not when he is rolling the way he is. The beast of the East. It's not the Bucks. It's Joel Embiid and the 76ers. They're 11-0 in their full lineup plays. It's the best record by any starting 5 this season. And here we go, back the other way. Embiid, coast to coast, got that. Miles Bridges, who actually started that with a turnover, you just called him unguardable. He said he's the top MVP candidate right now. Embiid knocking down a three there. He made 3 of them. He was 3 of 5 from distance. And here, driving past Cody Zeller, who David Lloyd sat here and said, Cody Zeller sometimes is capable of male pattern badness. And we all chuckled. We laughed so hard.
Did you really say that?
Embiid, 13 points in the first quarter. Hornets had 13 as a team, and then in the second, okay. Look at this dish from LaMelo Ball. In stride, behind the back, no look. 3 dimes for LaMelo, 16 points for Miles Bridges, who was the receiver there. And then Tobias Harris only made 3. We're going to show it to you. It's in a decent spot. Help put this thing in the deep freeze. He had 26. And Embiid's like, I'll see your 26. How's 34 grab you? Fadeaway goes. His 6th 30 and 10 game this season that ties Nikola Jokic for the most in the NBA this season. Shout out Dad Bod God. Joel Embiid has played in 17 games. He's missed 5. Philly is 15-2 with him. They've won 8 straight. That's an .882 win percentage. That is the highest by any player to appear in 15 games this season. Games he hasn't played, Sixers are just 1-4. All right, much more NBA ahead. What the Greek Freak accomplished Wednesday night that hasn't been discussed in the same sentence as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and a matter of fact, even better in one stat.
3 days away until the Super Bowl. And look, you're going to play in the Super Bowl. You want to look good. It's like, what if that fade, though? What if that undercut? What if that actually led to you missing the game?
Boom.
There were 20 Chiefs players waiting on a haircut. 20 players, including Patrick Mahomes, when the barber who was giving those cuts was yanked because he had tested positive for COVID-19. Let's bring in our Dan Graziano this morning. I'm sure I'm not the only one asking this question. How did that even happen?
Well, Nicole, there was a November 23rd update to the NFL COVID protocols that specified you can have up to 5 people in the facility each week if they're under certain disciplines. They have a medical professional like a chiropractor, a massage therapist, or a barber. That person has to be tested before they can come in and approved by the NFL Management Council. So this barber was there. It makes sense, too, right? You bring in somebody who's tested and approved rather than letting players go to whatever, Big Joe's barbershop on the plaza there in Kansas City to get their hair cut from someone you don't know if they've been tested. So you have control of the situation. Well, what happened is this person who had been tested and approved and was wearing a face shield and a mask, they're required to wear both while performing these services in the facility. They had a point of care test from that morning that came back positive. So the team rushes in there. They say, you got to get out of here. The players whose hair had already been cut, one of whom, backup center Daniel Kilgore, was actually still in the chair, which led to a funny picture. He posted a funny Photoshop of him with his hair kind of half cut yesterday after this story came out. They are designated as high-risk close contact. So they had to stay away from the facility for 5 days. But this happened early enough in the week that they should be able to come back and play in the game. So really it was the Chiefs following the protocols, and it's a story of the protocols working. Everybody else who was waiting for a haircut didn't end up getting exposed to the barber who tested positive. They're just going to have to play in the game without those haircuts.
I mean, honestly, if one single story basically sums up how precarious this sports year has been, that is it. Thanks, Dan.
As for the Bucks, got to practice in on Wednesday. That man's hair is often discussed. Tom Brady's gone long, he's gone short. Some say maybe it's been aided along the way. I don't know, but Mike Evans and his receivers were there for a practice ahead of a home game. No cannons, though. The cannons won't be fired. That's deemed a competitive advantage come Super Bowl Sunday. SportsCenter on the road. Joining us now, as it's presented by Rocket Mortgage, it is Sal Paolantonio from where? Tampa, you got it. Bucks, what's the latest on their health? We spent so much time here talking about the Chiefs and a near miss here with the COVID-19 scare in the barber.